Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, at this meeting, we will learn about mathematical logic. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Welzeen Sinaga with the name 2213101012 and I'm from class 2 IKI.
The topics that we will learn about this mathematical logic are 1. Negation, 2. Conjunction, 3. Disjunction, 4. Implication, 5. Inverse, 6. Converse, 7. Contrapositive, and the last P implication. So, for the first topic is negation. The negation of proposition can be defined as not a case of the proposition. Can be said that the negation is the opposite of the proposition. Negation symbolized by you see on the screen. Okay. For example, P. Jakarta is the capital city of Indonesia. And the negation of P. Jakarta is not the capital city of Indonesia. For example, 2. P 3 plus 2 is equal to 7. And then negation of P is 3 plus 2 not is equal to 7. And the truth table of P and negation P, then P is a true, then negation P is false. But if P is false, then negation P is true. The next topic is conjunction. A conjunction is a mathematical logic that draws a conclusion from two premises. Conjunction consists of two statements, or P and Q, that apply to compound preposition or are contained by the word and. The conjunction reported by mathematical liberal text is true only if both premises are true. Also, if both or one of the premises is false, then this conjunction will also be false. Conjunction are symbolized by conjunction you see on the screen. Okay, for example, P. The platypus is a mammal that lay eggs. Is true. Then Q. Echinta is a mammal that lays eggs. It's true. So the conjunction of P and Q is platypus and echidna are mammals that lay eggs is true. As for if one of the premises is false, then the conjunction is definitely false as well. For example, P. Frogs are a group of amphibians animals. True. And then Q. Chicken is a group of amphibian animals. False. Then conjunction P and Q. Frogs and chickens are a group of amphibian animals is false. So the truth table, if P is a true and Q is a true, then P conjunction Q is a true. And the next, if P is a true and Q is a false, then P conjunction Q is false. If P is false and Q is true, then P conjunction Q is false. And when P is false and Q is false, then P conjunction Q is false. Okay, the next topic is disjunction. A disjunction is a compound statement composite of two statements strung together by the conjunction or symbolized by disjunction, which you see on the screen. For example 1, P. Andy is a teacher is true, and Q. Didi cloth merchant is true. So, disjunction of P and K is Andy is a teacher or Didi a cloth merchant. Disjunction is true. For example 2, P. Anton is human is true, and Q. Apples are animals is false. So, P. Disjunction Q is Anton is human or apple is animal. Disjunction is true. For the truth table, you see on the screen. The next topic is implication. Implication is a relationship between two statements where the second statement is a logical consequence of the first statement. The implication of using compound statement with conjunction if, then, so that the notation of P implication Q be read if P, then Q. P is called the antecedent and Q is called the consequent. The implication will be true if the antecedent is false, or the consequence is true and the implication will be false if the antecedent is true and the consequent is false. For the truth table of implication, we see on the screen. If P is a true and Q is a true, then P implication Q is a true. But if P is a true and Q is a false, then P implication Q is a false. If P is a false and Q is a true, then P implication Q is true. If P is a false and Q is false, then P implication Q is true. Okay, for the example by implication, uh, implication can be read in several ways, including 1. If P then Q, 2. Q if P, 3. P only if Q. If P is false, then Q is also false. 4. P is sufficient condition for Q. If P is true, then Q is also true. Q is a necessary condition for P. Then value of Q is about 3 necessary to determine the value of P. Inverse. The inverse is the negation of the implication. Of the implication has the notation P implication Q. Then the inverse has the notation inverse P implication inverse Q. The notation inverse P implication inverse Q can be read if it is a negation of P, then it is a negation of P. Q. For the truth table, you see on the screen. Okay, the inverse can be read in several ways, including 1. If the negation of P, then the negation of Q. 2. Negation of Q if negation of P. 3. P or negation Q. Here's an example of an inverse. 1. If 5 times 6 is equal to 13, then 13 is even number. And the inverse, if 5 times 6 not is equal to 13, then 13 is even number. 2. If price BBM goes up, then the poor get BLT. In the inverse, if BBM price don't go up, then the poor don't get BLT or BBM. Okay, the next topic is converse. Converse is a statement obtained by reversing the implication or consequent statement. If the implication has the notation P implication Q, then the converse is a statement obtained by refreshing the implication or conditional statement. If the implication has the notation P implication Q, then the converse has the notation Q implication P. The notation Q implication P can be read if P then Q, and if P if Q then P. The converse has a truth value equal to the truth value of the inverse. In the truth table you see on the screen. For example, by converse 1. If 5 times 6 is equal to, then 13 is even number. Then the converse for the of ini, if 13 is even number, then 5 times 6 is equal to 13. For example 2, if price BLT goes up, then the poor get BLT. Converse, if the poor get BLT, then price BBM goes you. For the next topic is contrapositive. If the implication value is true, then the contrapositive value also has a true value and vice versa. Contrapositive has the notation Q implication contrapositive P, which reads if the negation of Q, then the negation of P. And for the truth table, you see on the screen. Okay, for the example, 1. If 5 times 6 is equal to 13, then 13 is even number. The contrapositive, if 13 is even number, then 5 times 6 not is equal to 13. For example 2, if price BLT goes up, then the poor get BLT, and the contrapositive, if the poor don't get BLT, then price BBM don't go up. Okay, for the next topic is the implication. The implication is mathematical logic which is characterized by the house of the word if and only if double implication occurs in compound sentence and is represented by on the screen. P implication is true only if the true statement or P and Q are both true or both are false. If either statement is false, then conditional implication is false. For the truth table, if P is a true and Q is a true, then B implication P and Q is a true. If P is a true and Q is false, then B implication P and Q is a false. If P a false and Q is a true, then B implication P and Q is a false. Thus, if P is false and Q is false, then B implication P and Q is a true. Okay, you get promoted if and only if you have conjunction. P is equal to you get promoted, and Q you have connection. For the example, you get promoted on you have connection. P is equal to Q is equal to true. Compound proposition P, the implication Q is a true. For the example 2, you get promoted and you don't have connection. P is equal to and Q is equal to false. Compound proposition P, the implication Q is a false.
Alright, that's all the discussion of material about mathematical logic from me. Have Hopefully this video can be useful for you. At the end, I say thank you and see you in the next video. Bye bye.